can't believe we're finally here. With all that we've imagined, the reality of this night is sure to make this the best night ever at the Gala.
Oh yes, here we are. The season finale of My Little Pony Season 1 The Gala. One of the staples of the show, and one of my least favorite episodes this series has ever given up. That's right, I hate the Season 1 finale. Let's get into it. Get your kid's ass out of here. Hello, I'm Discord Jedi Knight. Yada yada. There are a lot of controversies about different episodes of MLP. Some controversies are downright ridiculous, like the entirety of Derpy Y Hooves. And some controversial episodes do make sense, like Spike's lesson on how he wants to be a pony rather than a dragon. I bet none of you ever thought someone would have a problem with Season 1, right? I mean, how can you? It's perfect. But I do have a problem, and that's the lesson of the episodes. When it comes to shows, usually the first season is either perfect or a testing ground that leads to perfection, typically peaking by the third or fourth season for most one-off series. And that's the thing, an LP is very episodic in nature, especially in Season 1, diving only into one or maybe two season-long arcs at a time. And hey, most episodic series don't even do that. They either do episodic stories, arc stories, or one big seasonal story. MLP tackles just about everything, all building into one grand story by the end. I mean, after 9 seasons, you'd hope to find some type of story there, I'd think. Even so, while MLP is more of a slice-of-life series than a big episodic story, despite having major recurring villains, Season 1 does have a season story, and that's the Gala. From Episode 3 with the Ticketmaster to Rarity's Dremskating, excitement builds for the Gala throughout the entire season. Its mention occurs several times and is built up. What do we get? The best night ever? Hardly. Yes, the show tries to teach a lesson here about not letting something bad ruin your entire night, but there's another light in it that I cannot stand. Not getting your expectations too high. Twilight and her friends dream big, but things go wrong. No animals like Fluttershy. The party is so sophisticated that the ponies don't like dancing wildly like Pinky. Dash can't even talk to the Wonderbolt. Rarity's perfect man turns out to be a rich snob who thinks he's better than everyone. Applejack can't sell more than one pie because most people there want fancy, over-the-top dishes that are tasty. Lesson cost $1 million for absolutely nothing. And Twilight can't get more than 2 words in with Celestia, who is greeting guests all night long. When you expect too much, you will always be let down. So don't get your hopes and dreams too high. Yeah, that's the lesson. Let me rephrase that. Don't expect too much. Don't get your dreams too high, because you will always be disappointed. That's the lesson they decided to teach kids. The lesson? Don't expect too much. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed. But should we really lower our expectations? Should kids be told to not dream big because they might fail? Imagine building up to Infinity War. For example, let's go Marvel only to have it end with a fart joke, instead of the Avengers all gathering together. Are our expectations too high when that's what Disney sold us? And while sure, we can't expect every project to be the best of the best every time, we should have standards. Should we lower those standards now that you're creating work under the standards that you set? The answer, no. Sure, we want to avoid disappointment, but we shouldn't stop striving for greatness. Companies like Disney used to create masterpieces. Should we just accept mediocrity from them now? Expecting failure leads to complacency. To grow, you have to incorporate failure into your journey. High expectations can hurt, but they also inspire you to push harder and improve. And just so you know, I am speaking from experience. This is the lesson I learned from my own self-improvement. Instead of settling, we should demand more. And yes, I realize I was talking about Disney, but this goes for Hasbro too. Now I am not wanting to fight or divide the fandom any more than it already is. Fact is, we had a standard that G5 did not live up to, and we're the bad guys for having expectations. Luckily, there was a recent change in the industry. If anyone knows about a little tiny, not popular at all video game about a hedgehog build, in being sarcastic, Sonic was amazing, and it was only amazing because they listened to the fans. They listened to their customers' judgment and decided to do better, which landed them a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money. No wonder Sonic 3 beat the poor excuse for a Lion King movie. I mean, I have to show you this. This is from the early 2000s, a little film called Narnia, made by Disney. Just look at that CGI, look at those effects, look at that lion showing actual CGI emotion, and now look at the news so and less stuff. If the Lion King live action was anything like that, I might have enjoyed it better, because it met the old standards they originally set put. But instead they gave us shit not just once but twice now. In 3 or 7A, God, how many of the classic movies are they going to ruin? Oh dear, remember Discord. Oh, El Chum, don't feed into the negativity, just a momentary relapse, I promise. Let's move on and get back on track. They say control your expectations, don't get too excited. You might as well say don't get passionate about something you love. And it's hilarious that this is in the first season of Friendship is Magic. No, I'll tell you what should have happened. Twilight should have expected a great time at the gala and been frustrated when it fell flat. She could have channeled the disappointment into making her own fun night with friends. The final message shouldn't just be about accepting the bad experience. It's about believing in yourself and striving for better. If we expect something and it doesn't meet our hopes, that's not a flaw. It shows we care and want more. So that's why I dislike the season 1 finale. It teaches us to lower expectations instead of pushing for greatness. And yes, while I do understand that's not what this episode intended to convey, the new unside took away from it made this one of my least favorite episodes from the show. Granted, I do realize the fact that I am most likely looking far too much into it. I imagine looking far too much into a kid show. No one's ever done that before our original. No, I don't hate it, but it is far from the best the show has to offer. There are fun jokes and moments I get out of it, like Fluttershy going crazy in this scene. But other than that, I just don't think we should ever lower our expectations. Sure, they can be out of hand. Sure, they can lead to disappointment. But when that happens, don't settle. Instead, strive to make it better. No, I'm not talking about perfection. I don't believe in that. But I don't think it's wrong to expect a good night from the gala. And I don't think it was one for them to laugh at the end when things didn't turn out right. I just think that the show told me this was going to be good. I expected a great adventure with the girls, and instead, I got a so-so episode telling me to lower my expectations. Let me know. What did you think? Were you happy with this season finale? Because I wasn't. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And guess what? That was just the season 1 finale. We're not done by a long shot. We're starting season 2 next week, so here's the episode reviews I have done so far. I hope we'll see you there. Oh, and one more thing, do not forget that friendship is magic.